Hey, what's up, everyone? It is your guy B Tech here with I'm Noah B Tech, Noah Magnum, whatever you want to call me. It is our channel here, and today we're going to be talking about something pretty important. It's pretty important as far as you like telling people about, your looks maxing, or just even the fact of like recognizing that, your physical appearance, your it is actually known as sexual appearance, so that's like your sex appeal and all that. I'm actually going to be doing a separate video on that because there is actual information as far as what that means, and it's a specific term which I think is really interesting, and we're actually going to be looking into it in a bit. However, when you go around, especially if you like go to a professional source like, a therapist or doctor or whatever, and you're telling them this kind of stuff, and you're like, hey, I've noticed this correlation, I've noticed this or that. I mean, literally just telling everyone, 99% of people, they're gonna gaslight the shit out of you. I mean, unless if there's some really close people that you can trust, you just kind of have that, that social sense or whatever, which, I mean, be honest with you, if you're kind of you know, like physically unattractive, you have poor sexual appearance, poor sex appeal. I mean, that kind of, they kind of go hand in hand. So obviously, you know, you're, yeah, good luck on that. But, if you can, obviously do the best you can. However, when it comes to just the general population, the normies, whatever you want to call them, and you're out there telling this kind of stuff to them, you're going to get gaslit. You're going to get, traumatized. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't say traumatized, but the constant mental gymnastics, the gaslighting, the, switching around topics, the deflection, all this kind of stuff, it's going to weigh down on you, and it's going to, kind of break you down, mentally, spiritually, psychologically. I just want you to keep that in mind because honestly, you really want to avoid being in a position where the psychological and the, I can't say, I'm not going to use certain words and terms because of, YouTube and all that, you know, the algorithm and all that good stuff. But I'm just saying that, the, I'll just say emotional and spiritual damage can definitely weigh down on you, and you could very well find yourself getting into a situation where you're going to be on drugs, whether that's prescription or, you know, like street drugs, even something like alcohol or cigarettes. Some of this stuff, especially some of these, certain drugs, like, your antidepressants and stuff like that, that some of this stuff can like really really mess with your receptors, like permanently. I wouldn't necessarily say permanently, but it can really cause some long-term damage to your receptors, and at that point, you know peptides, steroids, your research chemicals, any kind of pharmacological looks maxing, anything like that, that can really be a hindrance to it and really get in the way. And I just want you all to be careful about that, because at that point, this is just a general rule of thumb. If you are out there, you know, you're starting to recognize these things and you're starting to make these correlations and whatnot, make sure you go to a space where you can really discuss this stuff and you can really, you know, like have people that you really trust. And just be careful out there. Obviously, you really do want to make sure you keep this to yourself with the general population. Like, don't even give them any hints. Don't mention it. This is why I do pretty much everything, anonymous. I don't show my face because it really is that important, guys. Just want to put that out there. And I think that's kind of about it. We're going to be doing that, looking into sexual appearance for the next video. That's it, guys. Take care.